The Death Knight class, the first heroic class of WoW. Ghost Crawler quotes, Death Knights are the current hero class, which means they're supposed to be the best class in the game. Death Knights are responsible for the imbalance issues in 2v2 arena, which in turn caused Blizzard to nerf the 2v2 arena bracket. In the class Q&A for Warriors, Ghostcrawler says, Warrior damage should look like that of Feral Druids, Enhancement Shamans, Ret Paladins, and Death Knights. Here are some of my 2v2 arena matches versus Death Knight teams. And these are all matches that we won, and the Death Knights usually doubled my damage. Warrior damage isn't even close to Ret Paladins and Death Knights damage. Death Knights are the best class in the game. Death Knights are so good, they can kill their same faction members in a duel. They can also keep you snared forever, which doesn't activate Second Wind. Good Death Knights will manually activate the stun from their pets. Death Knights are so good that they can fight in Frost Presence, which is a tanking stance, and still out-damage everyone. This is what not to do in a fight versus a Death Knight. If you just charge in, you're going to get stunned by the pet, and then you're going to get Chains of Ice. Once a Death Knight starts kiting you, it's very hard to recover from it. There's two different openers that I've been successful with. One of them is I Blood Rage, Charge, Blade Storm, Focus Spear the pet, Hamstring, then Rend. Now if you don't know what a Focus Spear is, go back to the basic tutorial video. Now before the fight starts, make sure you have the pet as your focus target. Now the reason I charge then Blade Storm is so I don't get stunned by the pet, and then I immediately spam Focus Fear so that the Death Knight is feared while I get a Hamstring on him and a Rend on him. Now the other tactic I use is Blood Rage, Charge, Focus Fear, then Hamstring, Rend, Retaliation, Blade Storm. I activate the Last Stand in Rage Regeneration macro. I try to keep the two-hander out as long as possible, then I go defensive, shield wall, and start revenge spamming. Activate Retaliation, Blood Rage, charge in there, and Blade Storm. While you're Blade Storming, spam the macro to fear your focus target. This will give you breathing room so you can run over there and hamstring the Death Knight. The Death Knight you see in all these clips is on my server in our guild. His name is Meiya, and he also has a warrior on Daggerspine, and the name is Shorganus. He's also one of the most feared Death Knights on Darkspear, and I asked him if he had anything to say.
Well, of course, Death Knights are overpowered. I mean, what else can I say? People fear Red Paladins? I can make any Red Paladin on my server my bitch. Death Knights are just Red Paladins on fucking crack, dude.
In this clip, I went to defensive and started revenge spamming too early. And you'll see once I run out of revenge spam charges, I'm pretty much screwed because I can't continue to burst them down, and I'm getting bursted down myself. So you always try to keep a two-hander out as long as possible and use Last Stand and Rage Regeneration macro to stay alive. One of the reasons I don't like to use Heroic Strike is because in most fights you will be Rage Starved. It's very dangerous to use Heroic Strike versus a Death Knight. While Heroic Strike is active, you cannot switch to a one-hander and shield. And it pretty much cost me this match. In this fight I do the charge, focus sphere opener. What I do differently in this clip is I don't go to defensive stance, and I don't spam revenge. And I waited until after I did the last stand in Rage Regeneration macro before I did Blade Storm. And yes, this was much worse than fighting a red paladin. Using the overpowered glyph is huge versus the Death Knight because they parry a lot. So you fight Death Knights pretty much the same as red paladins. You have to use the crazy arms prospect with last stand, and you have to blow all your cooldowns.